at the trading floor in Chicago. All right, Todd, good to talk with you, and big event to chat about here this time. All those numbers flying around. What do you make of all this?
Good morning, Marlon. Was there a report today? I don't know. I didn't see one. No, obviously it was pretty much all in line. You can see by the price action that there really was none. I mean, we moved a little bit back and forth around break even, but really no real action to the trade, because I think the trade already had this kind of priced in. One of the things we always look at is what is already assumed to be in the market, and basically the report was already in the market. So now we're going to see where we're really going to go over the next few days as we decide if we're still going to be bullish or bearish. But overall, the overall report really had obviously no effect on the markets whatsoever.
As we look at our corn prices here, Todd, we'll bring up the futures board. And I thought it was interesting. Right now we have the May corn trading a penny and a half lower at $3.59. Out of all of these, it looked like maybe the wheat and the corn, if anything, had fairly friendly numbers, and the trade didn't take it too well. They kind of sold off after that.
Well, you know, they were fairly friendly, but again, maybe they were fairly friendly, and that's why they hadn't gone down earlier. You know, we did see wheat go down and make new contract lows last week. Corn has not gotten that far down yet. So there's still some significant pressure on these markets from the commercials. There's still a lot of weight, which, you know, ties back into the economy. You've got a lot of big announcements the next couple of days in the general markets that could have a dramatic effect on what we're talking about right now, which is you've got Mario Draghi speaking tomorrow morning, which will definitely influence monetary policy, which could have an effect on the dollar. And then you've got the Fed next week. So I think more important in today's world right now are those numbers, because those really affect the dollar, which really affects whether or not we're going to be able to export out goods or not. And that becomes the bigger issue in the longer term here.
Right now, the March dollar index futures are down 240 points. We do need to keep an eye on that. Fairly close to the low of the day. Todd, I wanted to ask you, as we look at our wheat prices, we'll bring up the Kansas City wheat market here to see how it's holding up so far today. We did see a little weaker tone in Chicago, but Kansas City is just one tick higher on the May. July is unchanged right now at 481. But are we getting to the point where traders are finally going to start shifting their focus to the upcoming weather related to the growing season this year?
I think that will be the case, and I think it's interesting. You know, we've had a fairly wet springish here, end of winter, beginning of spring. It could be interesting. It could lead to a dry summer, which could obviously bring some prices up, bring production down a little bit.
I've been talking with a number of friends and relatives in the central part of the country, and that's exactly what some of the analysts are talking to them about in that part of the country. So we'll watch that very closely. All right, Todd, we're going to pause for a little break, and if you don't mind, I'll bring you right back. We'll talk a little livestock on the other side, all right?
I'll be waiting.
All right, very good. Todd Horwitz will be back in 1 minute.